The same guy who talked to me like I was trash, the same guy who laughed while my boss humiliated me, ended up in handcuffs because he underestimated one employee with nothing left to lose. And the best part? I got paid to watch his life fall apart. If you've ever been disrespected, talked down to, or thrown under the bus by a boss who cared more about money than dignity, hit like, subscribe, and stay till the end. Because this revenge, it wasn't loud, it wasn't reckless, it was cold, calculated, and devastating. The job that treats you like you're replaced. 15 years ago, I worked at a hydroponics store. Not because it was glamorous, not because it paid well, but because bills don't care about pride. We sold grow lights, nutrients, ventilation, all the tools people needed to grow tomatoes. And everyone knew what that meant. The job came with an unspoken rule. Customers thought they were smarter than you and better than you. Most days you swallowed it. Until him. The customer from hell. He walked in like he owned the place. Designer clothes, expensive watch, that look, the one people get when they've never been told no in their entire life. He snapped his fingers instead of speaking, called me buddy like it was an insult, corrected me on things he clearly didn't understand. And every time he opened his mouth, I could feel my jaw tighten. But he spent money, and apparently money gave him permission to be a piece of garbage. The moment everything broke. One day he storms in holding a box. I want a refund. I open it. Used, scratched, clearly installed and removed. I check the receipt. Expired return window. I look him in the eye and say calm and professional, "I'm sorry, that's against store policy." His face twisted like I'd personally insulted his bloodline. Get me your boss. The ultimate betrayal. He calls the owner, and I can hear it. The fake politeness on the phone, the exaggerated tone. Then my boss looks at me, and instead of backing me up, instead of doing his job, he tears into me right there in front of the customer. What the hell is wrong with you? You don't turn away good customers. Are you trying to cost me money? The refund goes through, and the customer, he smiles. Not a normal smile, a victory smile, like he just proved I was nothing. The power shift. From that moment on, he became unbearable, demanding, loud, condescending. He talked to me like I was lucky he even acknowledged my existence. And my boss did nothing. That's when I realized something important. I had no protection, which meant I had no reason to protect anyone else. The mistake he didn't know he made. He started placing special orders, big ones, and for those we needed full name, phone number, address, policy. I watched him scribble it down without hesitation. No paranoia, no caution, because in his mind, I was harmless. Looking at the equipment list, industrial lighting, ventilation, nutrient systems, there was no ambiguity. This wasn't a hobby. This was a felony waiting to be discovered. The breaking point. That night, I didn't feel angry. I felt something worse. Clarity. Every insult replayed in my head, every smirk, every time my boss chose money over me. And I thought, why am I protecting someone who would happily destroy me if it benefited him? The call that changed everything. The next day, during my break, I stepped outside, phone in hand. I called the police tip line. No drama, no lies, just facts. Name, address, purchase history. And when I hung up, I felt lighter, because the outcome was no longer my problem. The waiting game. Nothing happened at first. Weeks passed, then months. I almost assumed nothing would come of it. And then one afternoon, a coworker leaned close. "You hear about that guy? My heart stopped. He wasn't just caught, he was raided. Search warrant, multiple rooms, plants everywhere. Not tomatoes. He was arrested, charged, convicted. The same guy who talked down to me, now standing in court with his head lowered. And then came the cherry on top. Because my tip directly led to the arrest, I received $500. I stared at that check and laughed. Not because of the money, but because the universe looked at everything he did and decided he deserved exactly this. Here's the lesson. You never know who you're disrespecting. You never know who's quietly following the rules, waiting. And if you're doing something illegal while treating people like garbage, eventually someone stops caring about your downfall. If this revenge felt earned, hit like. Subscribe for more cold, calculated Reddit revenge stories. And comment below, have you ever watched someone destroy themselves because they underestimated you? Because sometimes the quiet ones hit hardest.